Council. Hey, Ray, can you do me a favor when you call and see if I left my phone in there? Hey, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakam to the brothers Shamar Ilathah Bahashem Yahushua, to the sisters. Hey, Salaki, on behalf of my time, kind of got caught up in traffic, but this is the California Lashawan Qadash class. The Lashawan Qadash stands for Holy Tongue. It's a, like I said, it's a biblical tongue given to us by our forefathers. Well, it was given to us by the Lord, and it was passed down to our forefathers. And since 1969, the Isupk has been teaching the truth of the Bible, and we have been teaching the Lashawan Qadash. Listen, unlike the Christian church, which you learn in the Christian church, where they go out and they start jumping and doing hymns and other things, speaking in cackling tongues, which is false. That is not of the Lord. That's a demon in itself. But the Lashawan Qadash, the Holy Tongue can actually be translated. It's unlike what you hear and they say they understand, but they don't really know what they're saying. You don't know what they're saying when they do that, and they jumping around and they spinning all that. Right. I've always been in question myself. I say, okay, well, if you get that in church, how come you can't get that in the car? That same spirit, why can't you get that to the store? It only happens at church in this big building, and so you gotta know it's not of the Lord. It's just of some other stuff. Black people, we're real spiritual. And we religious. We go with everything, but and actuality, be in the Isupk, being of the 12 tribes of Israel is our culture. It's not a religion. It's our culture. This is what the Lord has given us as a people and a way to live, like following the commandments. That's something that we have to obtain, following the commandments, not eating pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. You know what I'm saying? Speaking to someone, not talking behind your brother's back, not sleeping with your brother's wife, women not being whores. This is part of the commandments that the Lord gave to us to follow. And if we understood this as a people, which in this world you see how it is, you listen to the music now, that's all they talk about. But if we could live like that, you would see this would be heaven. It would be the most righteous spot, because you wouldn't have to worry about your brother going to break in your car. You wouldn't have to worry about those things. But since we don't, this is why the Isupk is so important. We're waking our people up to show them how to be, and to be righteous brothers and be righteous sisters. But I digress on that. Kind of behind on time, so I'm gonna go straight into the alphabets. I'm gonna have a brother come up here. He's gonna go ahead and write the alphabets. We're gonna start in the ancient, and then we're gonna go into the Assyrian. If you have a pen and pad, you can go ahead and follow along. If you do need a chart, just let me know. If you're on Facebook, I can send it to you via Messenger. If you are on YouTube, just put it in the comments and put your email in there, and I can send one to you, so you can go ahead and follow along and as the steps go. Because if this is your first time taking the class, it might be a lot easier for you to follow with the chart. But if you do have a chart, hey, that's Tawab. Tawab means good. So I'm gonna have the brother come up here. He's gonna start with the alphabets, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, Salaki on my timing. This class is supposed to start at 7 o'clock. Let me get a better marker. Hey, please like and share the class. We do want all Israel to get edified on the alphabets. This is our culture. This is how we wrote before our oppressors showed us the alphabets, the so-called ABCs and all those things. We actually had alphabets already. We had our own language, but since we've been stripped of these things and beaten into submission of their culture, this is what we've learned from our oppressor. So, we want to get out of the habits of being proud to be oppressed, which being so happy to say, well, I got this degree and these certain things, when those degrees mean nothing. When our people are still down and out in the streets on drugs, our women are still whores, our men are still dying, gang violence and all the types of stuff, and we're still in the correctional facilities. It doesn't change that when we say we got these degrees. But what will change is the people see us waking up saying, hey, I'm not just a so-called Negro. I'm not a so-called, just a so-called Mexican or so-called Guatemalan or so-called Jamaican. I'm of the 12 tribes. And in the 12 tribes, I'm a direct descendant of the Lord. You know, and it'll change you and make you act different. You know, so it's important to get in these classes and get proper edification, understanding of who you are. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. You know, just get edified, get educated. You know, we think we get so educated in these colleges, but in these colleges, a lot of the history that they teach us is not factual history, and it's not our history at all. You know, because if you think about our history and what the white man or the so-called oppressor tells us our history, we were just slaves. You know, and if you go deep, when you go into this Bible, you'll see we were more than ever just slaves. We were only in slavery because of the condition of our spirits to where we wouldn't follow the commandments. So the Lord had to chastise us like he does his children because he loves his children. That's why we were chastised. Now we got to figure out how to get out of these conditions. And the way to get out of it is to getting this truth, man. Open your Bible, get the Isupk, get in these classes, you know, and you learn yourself. You know, I didn't think about it when I was younger. You know, I was wondering why I hung with the people I hung with, why we did the things we did. You know, I never knew about this truth. And then one day the Lord just showed it to me, and ever since then I've been running with it. But it gave me a sense of responsibility. It educated me, it took me away from the wicked things I was doing in the world, wasting time. And that's why it's good to go ahead and get into this truth and get understanding. You have a purpose here. The Lord has a purpose for you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the sounds. Let me know if you guys can see this. Okay. Remember, okay, when we write out this Lashawan Qadash's holy tongue, the Hebrew, it is not written from left to right. It's actually written from right to left. It's the opposite. So when you're reading it, we're going from right to left. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the sounds. This is ba ga da ha wa za ka ta ya ka la ma na sa I pa za kwa ra sha da. And those are the sounds of the Lashawan Qadash, which is the holy tongue. Those are the actual sounds which you hear as the alphabet. You can see how the oppressor kind of made it sound like how they have A, B, C. This is ba ga da. Right. You know, and you got to think about this as well, how you got the name Jesus. When this is the Hebrew right here, there is no J's in this. So you could not, there is no J's in this alphabet. So there's no way, in fact, that you would ever have a Jesus. You know, that even though that's what his name is in the Bible, his real name is Yahweh Shai. But that's what lets you know that when you think about somebody says, "Oh, Jesus," you call on the name of Jesus. You know, they always try to pressure you until you're like, "Wait a minute." Right. Before the 1400s, there was no J. Right. And if we go into the Hebrew alphabet, there is no J. So, you know, it's just something for you to get a proper understanding on. And you say, you know what? Let me go read things while I'm listening to these people. I'm gonna go back through the sounds. This is ba ga da ha wa za ha. You hear this? There's a similar sound to this, but this is the ha. Ha ta ya ka la ma na sa I pa za kwa ra sha da. And this is actually the ancient. So, Laki, let me see if I got a brighter marker.
Yeah, I got some.
You got some?
Yeah.
At the water. Yes, we got so much work going on. These markers are starting to fade. Okay. Let me see. Let me see how it looks. Let me see. Just over here trying to share it in different groups. Give me a second. That's 12. That's 12. Let's see. This is actually the ancient. There is an Assyrian. Oh, the water. Oh, this is never fresh, John. There's actually an Assyrian, which you see the so-called Jewish, which ish means pertaining to, but not quite. When you hear the ish at the end, you know it's not the real true person. Right. But the blacks and Hispanics and the men of the 12 tribes, the women of the 12 tribes, are the actual descendants that were Jews. They were Jews. They were not Jewish. Like this term black-ish. Black-ish is not black. It's black-ish. It looks similar. But the so-called Jewish man is not, this is not his language. This is something that he's taken on. As you see in Israel, they've taken Israel. So, you know, well, I believe that the scripture said that there will be a bastard in Ashdod, and you see who's over there right now. The so-called fake Jewish man has taken over. They're over there reading the walls, but they don't understand that the walls that they're reading, they don't even have the spirit to discern that text, right, because the Lord did not give them that spirit. The Lord gave the children of Israel that true spirit, and they live over there wicked anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're not righteous people. You see what they're over there at war with the what are them people? The Palestinians. They're over there. They're warring with them, kicking them out. Even the so-called fake the Cushites, the so-called Ethiopian Jews over there, they're having war with them because they're devils. Understand? They're devils. So you know it's not righteousness until the true people get back back over there. When the Lord calls us over there, see fit, believe me, it's going to be a glorious place. You know, I can't wait to go home because I know this right here in America, this is hell. You know, I don't want to see my brothers getting knees to their necks. All these things where we gassed it up, and we are more prisoners than we were in slavery. You know, so I can't wait till the Lord comes and He redeems us. But right now we have to wake up and become these righteous people for the Lord to come help. As long as we out here wicked, how you gonna save some? He gonna save us and we being wicked. Right. It just makes no sense. That's why we gotta wake up as a people and come up out of that sleep. You know, and come serve the Lord righteously and truth. Come get into these classes, start living righteous. Go home, teach your family. You know, educate them on who they are. This is why we're educated on the Lashawan Qadash, because this is our heritage. This is our language. This has been beaten out of us, taken from us. Our names been taken from us. They gave us their names. My last name is supposed to be Grissom, but that's a French last name. I ain't French. Right. You know, I've been given that last name. And for a minute when I was in the world, I was wore proudly. But in actuality, it was been beaten into me, and right, branded on some of my people to no, that's his property. You know what I'm saying? We're only the Lord's property, and that's why these people are so angry, because they still want us to be their property, but we're not. We're the Lord's chosen people, and we're gonna do this work. We're gonna wake each other up and get edified on these languages and learn how to live and how to conduct ourselves as a community. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to think. We can't think individually. That's what we've been trained in America, to think individually. You know, we have to come together as a people. And that's the only way we're going to rise. We are one body. Until we get into that one body, you know, we're going to have the same problems happen. I digress, but we're going to go back into the sounds again, and then we'll go into the Assyrian. This is Abagadaha Wazaka Tayaka Lamanasa I Patazakwa Rashata. And those are the sounds of the ancient. I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and then we'll go into the Assyrian. Like I said, if you do need a chart, go ahead and put it in the comment board, and we will go ahead. I will send you one via messenger, or if you put your email in YouTube, I can send one to you through your email. It's no sweat. And you want to go up here and write in the Assyrian? He's going to come up here and write in the Assyrian. which the sounds are exactly the same. It's just the character of the alphabets are different, and I'll get into that once it's all written out. Like I said, the sounds are exactly the same. The sounds are exactly the same. It's just the characters of the alphabets are totally different. Yeah, but we have these classes. We have classes almost every day of the week. We have classes from Monday, which I believe the class starts at 1 o'clock, ends at 3 o'clock. It's a history class. We have a brotherhood class that starts at 7 on Tuesday. It starts at 7 p.m. and ends at 9 p.m. On Wednesday, we have a law class which starts at 7 p.m. and ends at 9. We have a scripture breakdown which happens on Thursday by none other than Captain Qadash that starts at 7 p.m. that ends at 9. And we do actually have a radio. There's a radio show that starts at 10 o'clock and ends at 12 at midnight. And on Friday we have the Lashawan Qadash that starts at 7 p.m. that ends at 9. Then on Saturday we have the Sabbath service that starts at 9:30 and it ends about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So there's classes all during the week where you can get educated. You can learn about how to serve in the Sabbath. You can learn the scripture class. If you have any questions about scriptures, you can go ahead and call in. Get in the charts on Thursday and have Captain Qadash break down some scriptures for you. So you can get educated all throughout the week. Just tune in. It's not like the Christian church, where the Christian church, they open on Sundays, maybe Bible studies, but and they definitely they're not really there for the people. They're there for their funds. Because if you think about how the Christian church works, they go about tithes and offerings, and that's a part of the commandments. But then when it comes to the other commandments, they're done away with. They tell you that. But the tithes and offerings isn't done away with. Something that people might want to question. When you go to church, you say, how come you said that you said the commandment was done away with? So the law is done away with. So shouldn't the tithes be done away with? That's what I'm hearing. I bet you they tell you something, they might kick you out their church. Because they want their money. Before you can get blessed and prayed upon, you better pay your tithes. And I ain't saying that there's nothing wrong with paying tithes in a righteous place where we teach you all the laws, not just the tithe, not just tithing. I've been to so many churches, man. I ran away from a Christian church. You can't, man. I just went to, this is offset. I just went to a Christian. My stepmother's. I went to her little going away ceremony or whatever. That man said, he said, close your eyes. I did not close my eyes. I said, I closed my eyes. This man gonna rob me or something. I don't trust the Christian church. I do not trust no Christians. Christian people is wicked as hell. I remember going to church and I hear people talking about people in church. I'm like, and y'all about God? Oh, let me get up out of here. I knew something was wrong with the Christian church. I had to get up. All they do is play music all day. The music it's a big scene. Y'all imagine me having the Lashawan, all of a sudden I dim the lights. I start playing some sentimental. He saw the best. Whenever you know that song, they just start crying in here like, oh no, I'm turning emotional. I ain't even thinking like a warrior. And you know the Lord is a man of war. We getting emotional. You know, they find a way to get your money out your pockets. You say, oh, that pastor good. He didn't even did nothing. He get the church going. It's a big show. And you learn that the Lord is not for games. He is not for games. You know, we speak about it because we black people, we've been to Christian churches. But now we know, like, hold on, the Lord is not playing. You see, I just thought about this last night. I said, man, the Lord stopped. I went into the grocery store last year. There was no meat. There was no meat. Half the shelves was empty. I said, man, the Lord is not playing with us. And we think this ain't ever happened ever since I've been alive. Right. So, you know, the Lord is not playing with, he's not playing with nothing. Okay, this is the ancient. The ancient is different because the ancient has double characters. You see, there's some of these same alphabets have a double character. I'll get into that so I can show you how to use these characters. But when you see that how he wrote that, this alphabet, this na there's two nas of it has double characters in the alphabet. So I'll go over the sounds again, and I'll explain to you how these double characters are used. This is ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, da. Give you a second. Okay. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, da. Like I said, the sounds of the alphabets aren't different. It's the characters. This is let me take that down. This is the Assyrian. This is the Assyrian right here, which with these characters, these are Assyrian characters. It's what the so-called Yiddish so-called Jewish man writes out. You know, our actual alphabets of the 12 tribes, we actually wrote and spoke, and we wrote in the ancient. But since the Assyrian, that was during the Babylonian time, they started writing the Assyrian. This is the characters that they wrote in. But the Isupk is so educated and well-rounded, we write in the Assyrian as well. So there's no debating those things or no refuting. We write in the Assyrian as well. But like I said, there's double characters in these alphabets. The alphabets, this character, the first character is always used in the beginning or the middle of a word. This second character of this one alphabet is always used at the end of a word. When I'll go into it, I'm going to write out some words and I'll show you how these double characters are used. Like I said, these double characters, this first character of the ma, the first character is used in the beginning or the middle of a word. The second character, which is ma, is used at the end of a word, like love ma. If it was love ma at the end of a word, that's when it's used. Well, if it's like, but if you said mala, you would use that first character because the ma was used in the beginning of the word. But I'm going to show you when we go ahead and start writing it out so you don't get confused about it. Because, I mean, it's easy to get confused, but then I can show you how to understand it, how these characters are used. If you do have a chart in front of you. If you don't have a chart in front of you, I can send you one. It's no problem. Like I said, if you're on Facebook, I can send it to you via Messenger. If you are on YouTube, put your email in. and I can send one to you to your email. But just gotta put it in there, and let me get back to you on it because right now I'm teaching, but I can send it to you throughout this class. There's no sweat. Once I see you, hey, send me a chart. I'm gonna send you a chart. So while you're at home, you can educate. I mean, you can practice. You can study on these characters because, like I said, this is a part of your history, a history that was untold. You know, a history that America and so-called these other so-called oppressors never wanted to give you back because they didn't want to ever say that you were the children, the children of the Most High. They didn't want to ever give you that, but they always wanted to hold you down. You want to know why these people are so oppressed in these countries. Why do they have it the hardest? You know, not even Africans have it hard as us. You can ask the African, is he African? Like, no, I'm from Africa. He's more proud to tell you he's a damn African to ever say, look like me and you are like, no, we are not the, you know, he throw it on, I'm throwing on how they sound too. No, we are not the same. They'll let you know. But when it comes to blending in, oh, my brother, you my brother. But when it comes down to being truthful, they'll let you know, no, you different. I am not like you. My people weren't in slavery. And you like, damn, before in the world, I thought I was a Shaka Zulu little cousin. I was proud, like being happy, like I like that Africans. Not knowing that the Africans didn't feel the same way about me. Right. And they got names like Kata that they would call us. And then not knowing that Kata means cotton picker. Those are the words that they use. They also have words to degrade the so-called Negro in America. You know what I'm saying? So we in the Isupk, it teaches you the difference to say, hey, you're not an African. You know, if you're a child of 12 tribes, whether you're a tribe of Judah, you know, whether you are the tribe of Benjamin, whether you're the tribe of Issachar, you are not the same people as those. Then I'll be some Hispanic people, dark as shade as me, and they'll say, oh, I got Spaniard in me. Like, you know, damn Spaniard. But it makes us proud to be one of them. You know, we want to be just like our oppressor. I used to have like light-skinned people like, oh yeah, my great grandfather's white. Oh, now you tell me that, I'm gonna look at you different. Like your great grandfather white. So we ain't the same people then. We ain't the same. Look, my great grandfather was on some chains somewhere. You know, down in the bayou somewhere getting whooped on. But you know, that's where you start getting the proper understanding of who you are. Start learning your lineage, and you know, you start taking on this different pride. You know, because you know when you get into it, you start learning who I am. Like, oh, I'm not just a slave. I came from something righteous and royalty. It'll make you think different. Then you like, man, you know, I ain't gotta get high. I ain't gotta do this. You know, I ain't gotta do these wicked ass things no more. Because, you know, I'm a child of the Most High. The Lord, He has something for me. You know what I'm saying? We in this hellish condition. We have to get out of it. But, you know, there's a way to it. There's a way to this madness besides smoking and, you know, being stuck in that depression. Because after you get high, once that shit wears off, you right back in that condition. Right. You get drunk and you start tripping. Once that shit, excuse my language, once that stuff wears off, you right back in that condition. But when you come and take this truth in, you start to understand. You know, you start to come out of it like, wait a minute, I ain't just no damn slave. No, I see what this devil doing. I know who he is. I know what judgment he's going to get. Right. And that makes you think different, nigga. It puts you in a war mind state. And you kind of need that war mind state, that fire in you to say, you know what? That ain't going to happen to me. And this was, I'm going to rise out of this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's always, like I said, it's always good to learn your history and learn your language and stuff, because this is things that's going to wake you up. Like I said, when I say this, da, we might not know it, but it resonates to your spirit because it's in your blood. This has been passed down from your forefathers. This is what y'all knew already. We knew this already. And now the Lord is giving it back to us, you know, because it's these times, and we have to really get prepared for it. We ain't living in that world with that Christian church. Oh, the end is near. The Father just you're not finna rapture out of here. Y'all don't know what, you better read that Bible again. The Lord said the kingdom come that will be done here on earth as in heaven. So the kingdom's coming here. And who's going to build it? You think he's just going to move us out? No, we got to build this kingdom. Right. We got to be the warriors to fish these brothers in and help clean them up, clean these sisters up. That's who's going to build this kingdom. So we can't be waiting for something. I don't ever want to be in a Christian church where I'm waiting for something to happen. We can't be waiting. We gotta be doers. Even though I wanted to be sitting at home, I gotta come down and come teach these classes, come get in class. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice. Learn something, and it's a beautiful sacrifice because I could have been. I would be honest with you. I'm getting off subject, but if I didn't have ISUPK, I'd probably be dead already. And I'm just telling you the truth. Because I wasn't going nowhere. Like they say, look at you, you're sitting at home. I was getting high, I was doing everything that wasn't of the Lord. The Lord was showing me. I got a lot of dead friends. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the Lord had mercy on me and said, come on, I'm gonna put you over here. Because other than that, the world ain't got no more to do with you. You ain't got nothing else to do here but get killed. That's all you got. Or go to jail forever. So that's why I said the ISUPK it helped me, it saved me. And you know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is right here over this. He's over this body of work. We ain't out here selling drugs, false prophet, and nothing. You got good brothers in here, and you'll learn the brotherhood, the sisterhood is just immaculate. There's nothing like this. That's why when the Passover comes, which is April 24th in Texas, it's gonna be some man. I love for everybody to be there because you're gonna see like this. If you ever been to a family reunion where your cousins actually love you, that's what you're gonna see at the real Passover. Brothers gonna be hugging. They only know you from the internet, but they gonna get to know you. That's it, man. And you gotta have that camaraderie with family because that's what we are. At the end of the day, we a big family. Everybody in here is my family. You know what I'm saying? Drawn by blood. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this, and we're gonna go into this to where we can get proper understanding about how the Assyrian is written and how these double characters are used. Go ahead and erase that. Brother, man, don't let me start talking. They're like, if you don't get up there, right? Let's Lashawan. We're gonna have I'm gonna pull some characters out and some things so y'all can get proper understanding to where you could write it out. Pants up. Be sagging like this dude sagging his butt cheeks was all showing. I'm like, bruh, I hope that ain't me. I'll be doing that. That's kind of weird. All right, the first word is famine. The word for famine in the Lashawan, which is sounded out in the Hebrew, is Ra'ib. The next word is fast. The word for fast in the Lashawan, which sounded out in the Hebrew, is Mahar. The next word is fat. The word for fat in the Lashawan, which is sounded out in the Hebrew, is Shaman. Shaman. Okay, I'm gonna have the brother. He's gonna come up and write it out in the ancient and in the Assyrian, so I can show you how these characters are used. Yeah, you said I see you West Coast. You said King Jehovah. Like I said, if you were watching the beginning of my class, the J's, the word, the word even Jehovah itself was not even in Hebrew. The J's, the alphabet J was not presented to the world until the 1400s. So there's no way his name was ever Jehovah. We'd have to get that correct because that is not how you sound his name out.
That's right.
So getting these classes are, you can go off of what you think you understand, but the Lord says, lean not to thy own understanding. And I'm paraphrasing. Lord does say, lean not to your own understanding. So don't think just because you have a thought in it, you don't watch a lot of YouTube. Because I used to be like that too. I was a YouTube Bible specialist until I got into the class. I was following so many damn doctrines, until I actually got into the class and said, oh, that ain't right. And then the brothers actually broke it down and showed me. And I had to say, oh, you know what? You right. Because the Bible also says prove all things. So don't, you would have to prove that to me. And I know the Lord does have, he does have different names. But Jehovah is not one of his names. Just like you would say, when we would call the Lord God, his name, we call him Yahweh. When we say Yahweh, this means the power. So, yes, there are many names, but what we call him is righteously. When we say Yahweh Shai, when we're talking about Jesus, like I said, Jesus was not his real name. That's just something that was they translated it from the Greek. Or they translated from Hebrew to the Greek. So a lot of people say, oh, King James never wrote the Bible. He had the Bible translated from the Hebrew to the Greek. So a lot of people like to they like to say, oh, well, King James, he was gay. You know what? That's a lot of confusion. But he actually just got the Bible translated. It's a lot. Hey, it's a little more right. This probably the last one. Well, before you develop, I was doing Lashawan, I might call you back every time, and then that's right. You said that? I'll flip it. It's like I never left. I like pictures. You call that club right here in the class. Ain't no sweat. I want to appreciate you calling me. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Words. Okay, this right here is written in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. The ancient, the Assyrian, so forth and so forth. Go ahead. Okay, you see these characters under the alphabets, right? This right here makes the sound singular. Right over here. When you see something like it looks like an upside down, I guess sad face, whatever. I don't like to call it that, but when you see it look like that, that makes the sound singular. That makes it sound singular. And when you see them like this, those make connectors. That connects the sounds. Those connects the sounds. Like this sound, that's a singular sound. And remember, this is written out in the English. It's just sounded out in the English, like ra'ai. So that's the only reason it's written from left to right. But it's written in in the Hebrew from right to left. It's the way it's read. So this would be that ra. You see how there's a ra, the dot. We want to put the dot so you can actually See, so that sound is singular. If you have the chart in front of you, you would understand because you would know the alphabets and what sounds are, what sounds are connected and what's not put together. So this is the Ra, and this would be the I, and this would be the Ba. So I, when you see that connector, it makes I. That's where you get that Ra I. That's how you would set. That's how you would write it. And this is and that's in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. This is the Ra. This is the I, and this is the B. And the difference between that, there are no connectors. It's just written straight out. When you write the Ra, I, and the B, the Ba, right? That's how you would write it straight out. There's no connectors in the Assyrian. The next word is fast. The word for fast in the Hebrew sounded out. The word for fast in the Hebrew. The Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be mahar. This is the first. Remember, the ma has a double character. If you were looking at the alphabets, you have the chart in front of you. The ma is a double character. Okay, I'm moving too fast. Laughing. This is the ma singular. This is singular right here. This is the ancient. I'm getting the ancient mixed up with the Assyrian. This is the ma character, which is singular. So it's ma. Then you have the ha and the ra, and it's connected, so it makes har. Mahar. You see that? That's like how it's written. The ma, and then you see that the ha and the ra are connected together, so it makes mahar. And it's the same thing. That's how it's written. This is where the connectors come in. That makes har. Excuse me. Now this is the Assyrian. The Assyrian has the double characters. This ma is a double character, and this is the beginning ma. The reason why we wrote the first character in the ma is because it's written in the beginning, or if it was written in the middle of a word. Since it's written in the beginning of the word, you have that character, the first character. Now you have the ha and you have the ra. Mahar. That's how you would write that in the Assyrian. The next word is fat. The word for fat in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew is shaman. Now this is the ancient again. This is the Shah. If you have the chart in front of you, you'll see this is the Shah. Now you have the Ma and the Na, which when they're connected, it makes man. If you have the chart in front of you, it makes it a lot easier for you to understand. So it's always good to have a chart so you can follow along, and it makes it a lot simple for you. That's right. Now I'm going in the Assyrian. This is the Shah in the Assyrian. This is the first character of the ma, because it's written, the first character is always used in the beginning or in the middle of the word. And this is the second character of the na. The reason why this is the second character because it's used at the end of a word. That's when you would use that second character. The second character is always used at the end of a word. Y'all get that? We're just making sure. So, okay, the first word is famine. The word for famine in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be ra'ai. This is how you would write ra'ai in the ancient. This is how you would write ra'ai in the Assyrian. The next word is fast. The word for fast in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be mahar. This is how you would write mahar in the ancient. This is how you would write mahar in the Assyrian. The next word is fat. The word for fat in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be shaman. This is how you would write shaman in the ancient. This is how you would write shaman in the Assyrian. The next word would be ignorant. The word for ignorant in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be ba war. Let me know if y'all can read that. That's a W-A-R. I don't know how to do that. The next word would be illegal. The word for legal, illegal, and the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be ba la ya. Balathia. That's how you would say illegal in the Lashawan. The next word would be immediately. The word for immediately and the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be ta ka. The ka. That's how you would say immediately in the Lashawan. Somebody actually say do something like the ka. That means immediately. I'm gonna have the brother come up here. He's gonna write it out in the ancient and in the Assyrian. Here it is. The word is ignorant, and in the Lashawan, translated, sounded out in the Hebrew, would be bawar. This is the ba. See how he has the ba dot. Then you have the wa and the ra put together. They connected. So it's a ba singular connected by war. That's how you would write that in the ancient. Now the Assyrian, this is the ba. Like I said, it doesn't have any connections to it. It's the ba, the wa, and the ra, which makes ba war. That's how you would just write it out. You write it straight out. How you see the sounds. The next word is illegal. The word for illegal in the Lashawan sounded out in the Hebrew would be balatya. Balatya. This is the ba, see how it's singular? And then you have the la and the ta put together, that's the connector, which makes la. And then you have the ya, which is singular. Balatya. That's how you would write that out in the ancient. And in the Assyrian, it's, like I said, there's no connector, so it's ba, la, ta, ya. Put that on that. When you write that, you always want to put that on there because you can get that sound, you can get that character mixed up with the ka. So you always put that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, gotcha.
But that's how it's written in the Assyrian. The next word is immediately. The word for immediately in the Lashawan, translated in the Hebrew, is the ka. This is the da singular. The ka, the ka, not the ka. It's the ka and the pa. You see that singular, the ka, and then the ka and the pa is connected, makes ka. So you have the ka, and that's in the ancient. Now you have the ta. Remember, put that, keep that. When you see that on there, you can discern it because if you look at the ka, it looks similar. But the ka, you see how the on the thigh has that has that little leg on it.
Right,
If you guys have a chart in front of you, understand what I'm talking about. You want to make sure that when you're writing it, you want to kind of write as clear as possible because you will get that language translated differently. So it's the thigh and the ka and the pa. And this is the second character of the pa. There's the double characters in the pa. This is the second character of the pa because it's written at the end of a word. It's crazy that if you keep doing it so much, you're like, oh, that's the second character of the pa. Like I start writing. I used to like have a weird writer's retarded block on the Assyrian. It was a lot different for me. But then when I kept writing it out, then I could look at the Assyrian alphabet and be like, well, no, I don't have to even have. You don't have to have nothing in front of it. I can look at it and be like, oh, that's das. It starts coming to you as you just keep doing it all the time.
right.
You know, so it's always good to keep exercising your mind because your mind's just, it's like you can keep downloading different information in your mind. You know, when you give up on yourself, that's when it stops. The first word is ignorant. The word for ignorant and the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew is bawar. This is how you would write bawar in the ancient, and that's how you would write bawar in the Assyrian. The next word is illegal. The word for illegal in the Lashawan translated in Hebrew is balatya. This is how you write balatya in the ancient. This is how you write balatya in the Assyrian. The next word is immediately. The word for immediately in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew is the ka. This is how you write the ka in the ancient. This is how you write the ka in the Assyrian. I don't know. You gotta keep your energy going into classes because like sometimes I don't know that the Hebrew will get to you. I write be like, shoot. I knew how to like. I look at the chart and I knew how to write it out, but then I didn't like. Oh no, you'll get it. You'll get it. You would get it. You know what I mean? It's gotta be something in you like. Oh, once you find out you get it, like, oh, I'm not connect. Oh, this is connected. This is how this. This is a singular. You like, oh, let me come up there and let me write it out. Right now, I let all of y'all. Just got him coming up in here right now because I had to get him back. He used to be that slave. When you slave, he get distracted from being able to come do your work and what the Lord called you to do. You have to do what your bills call you to do. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So, you know, it's something that we all gonna learn together. If y'all brothers keep coming to this class, I'll have y'all up here writing it out, exercising your penmanship because this is what the Lord called you to do. It's just y'all could be anywhere in the world. Y'all over here learn the Lashawan, learn the Hebrew, man. And the next word I'm writing now is Jerusalem. That's even my people that's online. Y'all could be watching twerk videos. Y'all could be doing all types of Googling a whole bunch of nonsense. Y'all sitting in the Lashawan Qadash learning y'all language class. So that's of the Lord. That's righteous. The word for Jerusalem in the Lashawan, translating to Hebrew, is Yah. It's like it. Yara Shalom. So when that person tells you, "Oh, Jerusalem," how they would say it, how you would actually say it in the Lashawan, you would say Yara Shalom. Yara Shalom. You see, but like I said, before there was ever a J, this is how it was written. The Yah. It wasn't a J there. This is just how you would get that. But it's Yara Shalom. That's how you would write Jerusalem. That's how they would say, I'm going to Yara Shalom. And that's how it was said. Before they said Jerusalem, I'm sure there's still people over there saying Yara Shalom. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's actually said. The next word is Jew. The word for Jew in the Lashawan translated in Hebrew is Yah Ha Wa Da. That's how you would say Jew. That's how when I pronounce my name, Kapar by Yahweh. I would say Yahweh. So obviously my name means he is clean. So I would say he is clean the Jew. Because I'm a Jew. I'm a direct descendant of Yahweh Shah. You know what I'm saying? The next word is jewel. The word for jewel in the Lashawan translated into Hebrew would be Quashat. Quashat is how you would say jewel. I'm gonna have the brother come up here and write it out in the ancient and in the Assyrian. What's up, Vicky? Yeah. What I say? You ain't lost a beat, huh?
Seems like it, man.
What you think, Harold?
I'm liking it, man. Learn all this stuff right here.
We already got a chart.
No, I need that. I'm coming to learn that other stuff too. You guys, I know you got a law class, and all that. I'll be here for that.
Yeah, most high in Christ. I don't know how you want to send it. You can send it to your
Email?
you can send it to your email or you can send it to your messenger. However you want to do it. You already got the chart up.
You sent me one.
Yeah. It was on the YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube was. Yeah.
You sent me one when I was in here though. You sent me it. But I be checking in at the house. I called. I told the young brother to be reading all the time. I got a car crash.
We did.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
You send us on.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I just let.
Yeah,
I didn't hear.
you can do it like that.
Yeah, they put send some message in there.
Like that. So like that. Put your email in again. Is that right there? There it is. Yeah, so you can take this chart home with you, exercise it. It makes it a lot easier. So especially like say if you're looking at it right now, then you're looking at you're looking at the Yah, you see the character, then you look at the Ra, and then the Wa, and you just it'll start coming together for you.
Right. It's crazy how it's written backwards, man. That's gonna be cold right there to try to figure out.
Imagine I'll show you a book where everything is written from right to left, rather than what you've been taught.
Yeah, that's what I got. My whole way.
Okay, the first word is Jerusalem. The word for Jerusalem in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew is Yarashalam. Yarashalam. That's how you write this in the ancient, which would be the Yah, which was singular, the Ra and the Wa put together. This is the connector right here. That makes the Ra and the Wa connected. That makes Ra. Then you have the Shah. That's the Shah. Lam. Now you have the La and the Ma put together. Lam. The connector. That's how you would write that in the ancient. Now, like I said, in the Assyrian, there is no connectors. This is the Yah, the Ra, and the Wa, the Shah, and the La, and the ma. This is the second character of the ma. If you look at the chart and you see the second character, this is the second character because it's written at the end of a word. It's written at the end of a word. And you write. That's how you would write the second character of the ma because it's always at the end of a word. The next word is Jew. The word for Jew is Yahawada. That's how you would say Jew in the Lashawan, Yahawada. This is the Yah singular, the Ha singular, the Wa singular. Then you have the Da and the Ha, which makes Da. That's connected. You see, those are the singulars. You see the singular characters, and then you have the connector. That would make a connector. Anytime you would see somebody write in the ancient, you would have to see the connectors, or you would kind of probably lose the translation because of the sounds, and you would know where the connectors were was singular, have the sound singular. Okay, now this is how it's written in the Assyrian. Salakia, excuse me. That's how it's written in the Assyrian. Now that's the Ya, the Ha, the Wa, the Da, and the Ha, Yahawada. That's how you write that in the Assyrian. Now the next word is Jewel, excuse me. The next word is jewel. The word for jewel in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew will be quashat. This is the qua, which is singular. This is the sha and the ta put together, which makes shot. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. Not to backtrack, but the Howland, the God, I accidentally put the word in.
Right.
The God instead of the.
Let me see.
God.
Oh, you did. You put the God.
Yeah.
He put the God. That was good. You didn't have me. That's how you write the da. Okay. Back to where we were. The quashat. This is the qua, singular, and the sha and the ta, which were connected. You make shot. That's how you write that in the ancient. And in the Assyrian, this is the qua, the sha, and the ta. The first word is Jerusalem. The word for Jerusalem in the Lashawan translated in Hebrew would be Yarashalam. This is how you write Yarashalam in the ancient. This is how you write Yarashalam in the Assyrian. The next word is Jew. The word for Jew is Yahawada. The word, for Jew translated to Lashawan to the Hebrew will be Yahawada. This is how you write Yahawada in the ancient, and this is how you write Yahawada in the Assyrian. The next word would be jewel. The word for jewel in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew would be quashat. This is how you write quashat in the ancient. This is how you write quashat in the Assyrian. The next word is invade. The word for invade in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew would be pa lash. The next word after that is investigate. The word for investigate in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew would be ka quar. Ka quar is how you say investigate. The next word is iron. The word for iron in the Lashawan translation, in Hebrew would be Bar Razal. All right, the brother come up here and write it out in the ancient, or I can write it out. Oh, you want to write it out? I was gonna say it's gonna be speedy for me.
How long you been practicing
Me?
language? Yeah.
I've been practicing. I've been doing the Lashawan for about teaching the class. I've been doing the Lashawan probably maybe 7 months. But me learning the class take. I was in the class maybe like, watching the class. I was in class like 3 years. Didn't take it until I got my officer's test, and I didn't because at first I really wasn't focused in on it because it wasn't. I tricked myself to think it was like I wouldn't be able to learn it, but once after I became an officer and stuff, like it started clicking to me.
But you got to test out. You got to test out.
You have to write. You become an officer. You'd have to be able to write the alphabets out, and you would have to be able to. There's a couple other 12 tribes. You'd have to learn how to write these things out. But as you go on, he's on his way to be an officer. He knows how to write it out. The brother behind you knows how to write it out. You know what I'm saying? But it's just repetitive. It's repetitive. He been in the class. The brother behind you been in the class longer than me.
Oh,
In Lashawan, yeah. He knew how to write it out before when I was looking at it like, I was like, man. But it started clicking to you, and then you like, oh, okay. Once it really started clicking to you, then you like, oh, I got it.
It's that repetition. I'm gonna keep coming in like this, and I can get it.
Yeah, facts. Because that's what it did for me. Because at first I was like, they're like, you got it? I'm like, yeah, I got it. It took a minute, though. It took a minute. But now it's just like, I like doing it. I like doing it now. But I mean, there's other classes I find myself talking so much. I'm like, shoot, I need to get in other classes. But there's brothers in other classes, but whenever they probably need some help, I'll probably be like, look, I'll take your class. Right. Because just, I don't know, something about being in the body and doing work. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you even clean the damn building. If you do it, man, you doing the work. It's just like you doing something. You got something to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord sees that. You know what I mean? That's why I'd be like, I don't know. Before in the world, I probably thought it was probably a lot of little stupid stuff. Now I'd be like, man, that's the Lord. He helped me, showing mercy to me, making sure I'm straight. You know, I'm messing up. You tear me up too, and I'm like, yeah, I know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing wrong. But yeah, this right here, I wouldn't trade it. My brothers in here, I wouldn't trade it in for nothing. This is it. This is it. Tell you, keep coming. Keep coming to class, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna be
I
loud.
remember when I first started seeing this online, I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, everything brought me back here. I'm like, man, it's crazy though.
That's what I
I did a lot
thought.
of research.
I seen these brothers. I was mad at the Christian church. And then I looked up something and said, Jesus Christ is a black man. I'm like, Jesus Christ is a black man? I don't know what you talking about. I didn't believe that. So I started looking into it.
Yeah.
Then I kept looking. Like I said, I became a YouTube scholar. I was looking at all these videos. I see some brothers on there. I don't even know if it was Isupk. I see some brothers on there going in.
Right.
But some brothers, I seen some videos of brothers just yelling at people. It's going crazy. But when I finally seen the Isupk on there, I was like, I seen Captain Tazariak on there, and the brother was just educated. He was full of fire. I was like, damn, this brother's smart and everything. He ain't playing either.
Right.
That's what got me hooked to like where I'm at in the Isupk because I watched so many groups. And I'm like, you know what? If I ever see them brothers, I'm joining them brothers. Them brothers came to Victorville, and I'm watching them. I'm watching them thinking they all in New York. I was saying this to myself. I'm like, if I ever see them brothers, I'm gonna join them brothers. I know them brothers. Them brothers. My cousin was like, "Hey, bro, the ISUPK's in Victorville. They having a picnic." I'm like, "You lying?" He's like, "Look, here's the flyer." I'm like, "Oh, we going." Went seen these brothers in freaking suits. They got the fringes hanging. Big brothers, 200 pounds at the park. I'm like, man. My girl like, babe. I'm like, listen, we finna walk over there. Let's walk over there. Hold on. She looking like, I ain't walking there. Them niggas, they look crazy. But over there, the brothers was like, man, you want something to eat? Come on, man. Sat down. I talked to the brother. I met Captain Kwan first. Like playing dominoes. He chopped it up. Man, then I met Rob Bayam. The brothers, I was like, man, these brothers is right. I'm like, y'all here? After that, they drifted off for like some months. Then I seen them again. I was like, oh man. Then I started coming to classes. I was hooked in. Now they had me then. I started doing, man. That was the Lord. Otherwise, I was just gonna go to self-destruction. I was getting high and everything else. The first word is invade. The word for invade is in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew is palash. This is the pa. See how it's singular? Right here, this is the singular sign. So he put the singular for the pa. Then this is the la and the sha. These are different sounds, but they're connected together. That's why he put the connector. So it makes lash, pa lash. That's how you would write that in the ancient. Now this is the Assyrian. The Assyrian. This is the pa. That's a double character in the pa. But since it's the beginning, that means it's the first character because it's written in the beginning of the word. So that's the beginning character of the pa. That's the la and the sha. Remember, there's no connectors in there, so it's palash. That's how you straight out write it. The pa, la, and the sha. Palash. The next word is investigate. The word for investigate is chakwar. This is the cha. This is the ancient, by the way. That's the kwa, singular, the cha, the kwa, and the ra, which makes quar. Those are connected. The qua and the r makes quar. So cha quar. That's how you write that in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. This is the cha. This is the qua. This is the ra. Makes quar. Like I said, there's no connections and it's written straight out. The next word is iron. The word for iron in the Lashawan translated in Hebrew is barazal. This is the ba, the ra, singular, ba, ra, the za, the la, zal. Ba, ra, zal. You see how the connectors? Singular, connector. So, ba, ra, zal. That's how you write that in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. This is the ba. This is the ra. That's the za. Well, za looks little. This is the za and the la. Barazal. That's how you would write that in the Assyrian. The first word is invade. The word for invade in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew is palash. This is how you write palash in the ancient. This is how you write palash in the Assyrian. The next word is investigate. The word for investigate in the Lashawan translated in the Hebrew will be kakwar. This is how you write kakwar in the ancient. This is how you write kakwar in the Assyrian. The next word is iron. The word for iron in the Lashawan translated in Hebrew, is barazal. This is how you write barazal in the ancient. This is how you write barazal in the Assyrian. And that's my time. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Barakathum to the brothers. Shamar Ilatha Bahashem Yahushua to the sisters. Hey, shalom.